What you're about to listen to is pulled from a marketing mastermind call that we did several months ago inside of Hybrid Hub. The goal last January was to work through the marketing system inside the program live together so we could see how well these systems worked for specific members and how to fix the areas where they fell off. These snippets are hopefully valuable, but they don't show how amazing and funny and smart and supportive all the members of Hybrid Hub are. So if you're listening to this episode and you're like, oh my God, this is so amazing, this is a room I need to be in live, then book a free one-on-one call below so we can chat about if Hybrid Hub is the right fit to scale your photo video business this year. On to the episode. Basically what we're going to be doing is we're going to go through phase 4 together this month, and phase 4 can be really intimidating because I'm asking you to set yourself up with your financial goals, which a lot of people don't like to talk about money. It's really all I talk about. And then I'm asking you to diligently, strategically, and consistently sell this large package that I asked you to create in phase 3. Brianna, I know you're not quite to phase 3 yet. Rachel, you did a lot of this work in Montana at the in-person retreat. I'm happy with where your big boy package is at now, but I still want you to go through phase 3 for the little nuances. For the purposes of what we're doing today, I do want you to have an idea of what you'll be charging for your largest package. Is that something we think we can even guesstimate today? Okay,
Yeah.
amazing. Basically, what's on my mind right now, as I've gone through everybody's where they're at in the program, I've sifted through today. I've looked at all of your businesses and your current marketing efforts today. And what I know, especially you three who are here today, is that the talent is there. Like the work is where I want it to be already without like needing to go crazy in volume with practicing right now. As far as like personality wise, like you're all able to talk to your people, and we just need to get that translating to how you're showing up consistently. And we need you to have the confidence in these high ticket packages. And confidence, to me, it always sounds so vague and stupid when coaches talk about confidence, right? What I actually mean is I want you to have the understanding of where your value is matching up with your offer, that the value is on par with the price that you are suggesting, or like the ask that you're asking. And the way we can like energetically make sure that we're in alignment with value and price is defining what we're delivering with the price that we're setting up, and knowing that we plan on giving more value than the person is paying for. And the way I do this in my business is I always think to myself, would I want to work with me? And if the answer is no, then that's not a product or service that I sell. Like I always strive in my photo video business and in my education business that I would be the person that I want to hire. And then if I'm not, then it's like setting myself up and taking the steps until I get to that place. Fair enough.
Mhm.
So when it comes to video, we're in this place now where we're thinking, okay, maybe I'm really, really happy with this offer. And I know that this value is more than the price point I'm putting it at. Or maybe we think that, okay, I need to practice a ton to get to the place where I'm really excited to offer this video offer. That's all great, but it's not an ego decision. This is a market research decision. This is, and you have to keep your equipment in mind. This is your time is valuable. And it's also knowing the service you're providing as a photographer. We can't forget that we're running photography businesses with video add-ons, correct?
Mhm.
Okay, so this isn't throw something at the wall and hope it sticks. This is going through these worksheets and actually filling them out and doing it in good faith. Okay, so when you go back to phase 3, because I still want you doing the homework, even though we're in phase 4 during these calls together. When you go back in phase 3, you'll notice in these worksheets, I'm asking you to like really intensely define a bunch of things that might feel uncomfortable. But it's just going to make your marketing stronger. You might be thinking, okay, Shayna, you idiot, I'm here for a marketing mastermind. Why are we talking so intensely about money today? And the reason for this is that I teach something that I've come to call financial goals marketing system. And the reason I do it this way, starting with money and starting with the offer, is because you might have and you might in the future learn marketing systems from people who are big on pillars, who are big on like this content is just to make somebody like you. This content's to make someone trust you. This content's about your dog and it humanizes you. And it's not that I'm against those types of content. It's that I have an awareness that we are not influencers. We are not people who are doing social media for the sake of growing our social media platforms. And that should be apparent just by a glance of any of my social media platforms. To me, marketing is a focused effort to get eyes on what you offer. And selling is a completely separate thing. So if the function of marketing is only to get eyes on what you offer and to convince that person to do what you want them to do from that piece of content, for me, the only thing I want people to do is to inquire in my photo video business. Like, I spend so much time and energy just trying to get people to fill out a stupid fucking form on my website, right? And if we go into like old school social media marketing, that's so funny, that's even a thing. We're talking about 3 to 5 years ago. We're trying to grow a social media platform, but now one piece of content is how people are interacting with you and your business at a time because they're not coming to you as an overall personality. They're viewing your piece of content and swiping away. And your job is to see if you can get them from that piece of content to do the one thing you want them to do. For some of you, that's going to be DMing. For some of you, that will be that inquiry form, which is kind of ambitious of me. Like, I understand that. For some of you, it's like getting them to your website. But knowing that one thing you want them to do from each piece of content, it like that's a big goal, right? And it should lead to what you sell, or else what the fuck are we doing with our business hours, right? To me, Reels and Carousel specifically on Instagram, that is not for the people who already know you. That is your chance to get in front of people who have never interacted with you before and to convince them to do that one thing you want them to do. I think it would be a waste of time to make that one thing a follow. I think that it would be a waste of time to make that one thing a comment, to make that one thing a like. Those are all ego metrics, right? A good use of your time as a business owner is to make that one thing something that will make you money and further your goals. All of this is to say that, like, I'm not against showing personality on your socials, obviously. It should do dual duty to show people who you are and why they'd want to hang out with you and why they'd want to work with you and why you're the best person for the job. But stories is a better tool to keep engaging your warm audience. To me, like a story is for people who already follow you and already fuck with you. A piece of content that lives on a grid or goes out into an algorithm is for convincing cold traffic to do that thing you want them to do. So we start at the top. We can't get where we want to go without a plan, and we can't make a plan if we don't know what we want the function of that plan to be, which is to get that goal of the sale. And how many sales do we need to get to that ultimate income goal that we want to get to? So it all starts with money. I know it's uncomfortable. I know for some people it's a crass way of looking at this, but it's where we're going to start today. So if you're able to get to the comments of this Zoom call, then I want you to go through this worksheet with us as you watch. Copy. All right, so click that if you're with me. Emily, if you're not, stay tuned. I'll keep it podcasty for you, I promise. Rachel, Brianna, is that opening okay? Perfect. All right, so now we're in our worksheet here, and I want to start with our revenue goal. And you're gonna, when you actually get to this point in the course, you'll hear my whole spiel on this. I know you've heard it a million times, but I want to give you a sentence or two because this is very, very, very important to me. When we define our goal for how much we pay ourselves, we're not factoring in a partner into this equation, okay? It is very important to me that we strive to make enough money to stand on our own 2 feet. So this means if your partner leaves you, your partner dies, like mom and dad die, like whatever's happening, you are not panicking because of money. You're able to feel what you need to feel as a person. So when we come up with our income goal, what we actually want to pay ourselves, and you could be filling this out while I'm talking, that's totally fine. Think about your bills, think about your entertainment budget, think about mortgage, rent, think about literally everything, fun money, and don't judge this number. Don't think, oh, I don't deserve to make six figures. Don't think like, well, if I live frugally, like I could make it by with 30,000. That used to be my number. I used to be like, okay, if I can make as much as my husband is making as a teacher, like we are going to be freaking rich. Don't think like that. Like be extremely realistic and optimistic. Combine those two and come up with your actual number of what you want to pay yourself. Thumbs up when you have that number. Like, I want to make this amount of money. You don't have to say it to me. I know eventually you'll probably say it to me because it's just how these co-working calls go. Okay. Oh, and you're listing all these expenses. Sorry. Teacher me just wants to go so fast. So fill these out. Go ahead and take your time. Wow, I went so granular with this. Really good job, everybody. And go ahead and do like guesstimate numbers if it feels good. Emily, as you're driving, you can just kind of be thinking about this so that when you actually go to tackle the worksheet, it's very easy. Think about your rent or mortgage, your utilities, your groceries, transportation. These can be projected numbers if you're not paying them right now. Like if you're living with a relative, but you have a goal to be in your own place this year, like look at averages in your area. Subscriptions and memberships is a huge one, lifestyle. Add these all up, and then you have your monthly total. Then multiply that by 12. And then you'll know yearly approximately what you want to pay yourself. Do we have this number? Okay, keep going. And then I'll watch out for you two to be ready before we move on. Okay, Brianna's ready. Rachel's eyes are darting really fast across her screen. So she's taking this very seriously, Emily. And then when you do catch up and you get to that monthly number and get multiply that by 12 to get to the yearly number, Emily's here for the podcast commentary. Then I want you to double it. And that is the minimum that I want your business making. So Brianna, go ahead and unmute. You don't have to tell me the number, but tell me how you're feeling. Is that a scary number?
I mean, yes, but it feels like I'm in the right place to make it happen.
Hell yeah, I like that. I like that. The first time I realized that my business number to support my family would be like $250,000, I'll tell you, like I thought that was absolutely ridiculous that I'd never be able to achieve it. And then I realized that like breaking that down into sales, it was actually super achievable. And especially once that largest package was defined because then
Hmm.
it stops being, which I just did this with Rachel last week or the week before. It stops being this crazy huge number and it starts being, oh, I need to convince two people a month to buy this thing,
Right.
you know? And like if you break it down even further and you start getting more and more data from your marketing of like, okay, if I get six leads, I can usually convert two or three people into a
Hmm.
sale. And then it's so doable. So like it stops being scary. It just starts being like a game, starts being numbers of like,
Yeah.
okay, I need this many people in the pipeline. And then this becomes very, very easy. So now we have the minimum of what I want your business making, which is double of what you want to pay yourself. So easy numbers. Fair enough? Okay. Once you have that yearly revenue goal, so that's double of what you want to pay yourself, and that's minimum. If you want to be like spicy, you can up that, which I love to
Mhm.
see. Then we're getting easy. We're just going to divide that number by four. So scroll down and on item six, I just want you filling in what you are targeting to sell each quarter. And then let me know when you're done and how that feels. Feel free to check in with where you're even at, Rachel. I have no idea based off of your glasses reflection.
I just finished my yearly revenue goal minimum.
Perfect. Love that. And now divide it by four for what you want to make each quarter in your business, not personally.
So can I do, so that's like my minimum, but I can make like a higher goal for
Yeah.
my goal. Okay, great.
Do you mind sharing your minimum?
My minimum is like 94K, I think. That's like very rough.
Okay. And I think in Montana, we made your goal 200, right?
Yeah, it makes me want to throw up.
No, you've got it. Because you want to pay yourself six figures this year, right?
Ideally, yeah, that'd be
Okay,
really cool.
so let's make double that so it's not even a question that you're paying yourself enough. Because too, like once we start making enough money, business decisions based off of money become so much easier. Like if you have 100,000 to play with in the business, you're gonna quit complaining about spending a few hundred a month on Google ads and I'll quit rolling my eyes at you, you know?
You always know exactly what to say. It's so annoying.
I just like
Honestly.
because like then business money is business money. If you're paying yourself, then personal money, you can talk with your partner about how that's allocated. Business money, it's like a no-brainer. Like you're just throwing the money out, it'll come back. And there's no like guilt attached to it because it's in the business account and it's for growing your business. Okay, so we have those quarterly targets. Rachel, yours is 200,000 divided by four, not 98 divided by four. Um, and then let's divide that yearly target by four, just so we have it in our head. Like, I like a 90-day goal. That's why we're doing quarters and months. So divide your yearly number by 12 now so we can see that monthly target. Okay, got it? That's an easy one. Okay.
Mhm.
Emily, as you're this is the nerdiest one for you to be driving to, Emily. I'm so sorry. We're not even talking about like be consistency mindset for short form content. Like that would be a fun podcast. This is just math. Okay. Now here's where we get into like how many sales we need to make in order to make those goals. You might be thinking, and I want you to go and do this with your highest price offer. And that might sound stupid because you're like, well, what if I sell a lower offer? This is more about target. This is about like all of my marketing is oriented towards selling this big boy. And that's where the mindset needs to be. But we're never sad about selling something smaller that just like goes into the pot, it goes toward our goal. But like if our goal is to sell like one big boy, so like my elopement big boy right now is well, if it's a multi-day for an elopement, my average is like 15,000. If like I'm only talking about this offer, then I'm way more likely to sell it, right? And my goal is to like sell one of those a month, maybe. Then like I'm not gonna cry about selling a $6,000 half day hybrid shooting by myself. Like that still goes toward my overarching goal, but I'm not losing sight of the goal of selling the big boy. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Okay. So when we're planning, it's always around our big boy offer. And this will make more sense when you go through phase three, Brianna, but basically it's just you're defining your highest package price, and here you can guesstimate, knowing you'll come back to it.
I did listen to
Um,
all of phase three. I just haven't done the homework for it.
Great. I love that. So you know what to do. And then talk me through where you're at here.
I'm done with how many hybrid sales.
And how many is that, Rachel?
For which one?
How many hybrid sales?
One per month.
One per month? Okay. That's not that scary. Like, oh no, you need
No.
to convince one person per month. You can do that.
It feels like I know it can happen, but it also just feels unrealistic when I like think about how I currently don't have money.
Totally. But like,
So,
didn't you sell a big boy a month ago?
yeah, I
You need
did.
to do it again this month. And can
Yeah.
we double down on what worked last month?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that scary or is that doable?
No, I think it's doable. I think it makes me stop freaking out.
Yeah. So quit looking at the big overarching goal and just see how we're breaking it down. Like this month, it's like, okay, one sale, one sale, one sale, one sale. Deal?
Yeah.
Okay. Brianna, do you know how many sales you're going to need?
Not quite, because I haven't gone through my what my big boy offer is going to be and what the pricing is going to be. I have like a rough idea.
Right now, what's your biggest offer?
My biggest offer is 5,000.
Okay.
So, but
Um,
I'm looking at expanding that because what I've been doing more of is multi-day, and that's what I love, and that doesn't include multi-day. So, just kind of like rough idea in my head of what that can look like. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, I do. Especially in Hawaii, like you can have so many blog posts painting a picture of what that looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Because when what you're targeting with cold traffic that's searchable is not locals. It's people like searching for this experience. So I think we could make that like really beefy. For now, we can do easy math like 10K.
Okay. God,
Yeah.
that scares me.
I hear you. It should be a little scary though. If it seems easy, it's not
Okay.
a real goal.
Okay. We're just gonna put 10K there and I'll work
Love it.
backwards later.
Perfect. Okay. Now this is going to overlap when you get to phase three. Um, which just get done with phase two, you guys. Like you're dragging your feet. But I want you to think about your ideal buyer. And I'm gonna let you go through this, and I'm not gonna make you finish it today, but I'll kind of talk at you through this. Because a lot of the times when we think about ideal buyer, right? We've been taught to think about this like perfect idealized person that might not exist. And it's so hard to work with theory rather than with past experience. So if you've ever worked a job or worked with a client where you left and you were like, man, I just need more of that. Like these are attributes that we can be writing down here that we can then speak to. Um, I actually just had a really great DM moment with Brianna today where I shared that I sent her a video as an example to help her with editing her video. We're like, I like fucking hate this video. Like, I think it's so ugly, so clunky. Like, there's decisions I made that I knew would make the client happy that I would really tighten up if I were just posting it as a portfolio piece. But then I look at this video and I think like these two were so fun. They were so funny, extremely artistic, really valued me. I was the most expensive thing at their wedding by far. And they valued me and my creativity so much. And they really poured into my partner and me on their wedding day and for their engagement session. And doing their wedding informed so many clients that I got 2 years later. Because like it showed I could storytell with their art because they sang in this video. It showed that I could combine footage from multiple days in a way that like meant a lot to my couple. And it showed that like it didn't actually matter what type of wedding it was, that I could serve the client really well and charge high ticket prices, even though that was not a
Mm.
high ticket wedding. Right. So like it did a lot for me with my confidence and a lot for me for my art and gave me permission to tell a sprawling story with a bunch of different songs and a bunch of different types of footage and raw audio of them joking and laughing. And while I would have done it tighter today, like doing that project opened the door for who I wanted to target later and booked me so many more clients. So like look back at past clients and just piece out what worked about working with them. And then you can talk to people like them later. So that is why we do this. I also don't skip the question of what they're frustrated by or afraid of and annoyed by. I know we like run away from negative things, but that's the best marketing because if you can solve these problems, you are the right person for these people to hire. Any questions on that before I talk about what they're searching for?
Mm-mm.
Great, 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 great. I'm doing this podcast style because I am going to set a timer for 20 minutes to try to get you guys to bust this out, and then we'll do Q&A at the end. And then what they're searching for. Don't overthink this. Literally think about people teach this with like keyword tools. And when you get to my long form lesson with Danielle, I don't even ask her about that shit because just think like a person. Like if you were the client, what would they be searching for? What would you be searching for to find you? And for me, like it's Glacier National Park videographer is how like most people find me. And then that I'm the opposite of you guys, then I'm converting them to photo clients. So just think about literally what people will search for to find you and not just offer based, but do problem based too. And any planning type questions. And then finally, don't shy away from this last category. What makes you the right photographer for these people you defined for what they're searching for? Like you are the secret sauce here in a world of like AI slop, which like I'm not anti-AI. I'm not like super keen on like busting out 90 pieces of content that don't actually mean anything, but I'm not against using it as a tool. But like when everybody else is watering down their voice and their message and like busting out quantity, this is going to be a pivotal year of personal branding, of like explaining why you are the right personality and the right person to serve people. Because if everyone else is just like, 5 ways to have a beautiful cinematic wedding despite the chaos, like if everyone else is writing that caption with AI, but you're like, oh my God, like I'm a local, like here's what I love to do, like using your actual voice and being funny, that's going to be the key to getting people to move forward with you versus the AI only people. So that's three categories that are pretty beefy. I'm going to set a timer for 20 minutes. Go ahead and listen to music, Emily. Are you out of here?
Yeah, I have an appointment, so I'm
Okay. Good
gonna
luck.
peace out.
Awesome. We'll
Thank you.
see you tomorrow.
Okay, bye.
So 20 minutes, bust out these last three sections, and then we'll check in at the end with all of your questions, comments, concerns. Deal? Okay, and that's time. All right, Brianna, what did these last three sections bring up for you? What are you thinking?
It was interesting doing these three sections because the proposal that I shot in Volcanoes last week, like I just had like the best conversation with my couple, and then the sibling and now future brother-in-law were there too. And they were basically scolding me for not marketing better because they had such a good experience to be able to put some of these things in a way that feels like it'll be meaningful in my marketing. Sorry, it looked like you froze, but I don't know if you heard any of that.
I think I heard most of that.
Okay.
Um, okay, that's really exciting, and I feel the same way, and I hear that all the time. Rachel, what's this bringing up for you? How did it feel to go through these three sections?
It felt good. I feel like there was a lot of, especially like the SEO blueprint, there were things I just haven't really considered. Like I think I've been focused mainly on like location based and maybe a little bit of like so I thought that was interesting. And I kind of like every year looking at questions that kind of target like why are you the right photographer? Or, like what do your clients look for? Because I think that kind of changes almost a little bit every year. It's kind of ever evolving.
Yeah.
So that was fun to go through.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Okay. Do you guys want to hear some really, really great news?
Yeah.
Always.
What you're going to do now is you're going to go up to share and you're going to switch it so that anyone with the link can view. You're going to copy the link and you're going to post it in the homework space of Hybrid Hub, and you are done with phase 4, lesson 1. Ah!
Hell yeah.
And that is it for today, friend. Be sure to leave a review and screenshot that review and send it to me at Hybrid Hangout. I'd also love to see the episodes you're loving in your stories so I can share and say hey and thanks for listening. Basically, I just want to be friends. I will see you soon. Beautiful, gorgeous, perfect raccoon with a camera. Let's hang out.